Hi, everyone. I'm Rebecca Siciliano, Managing Director at Tiger Recruitment, and I'm joined by Angela Lopes today, who's the Director of Tiger's City Office. And today we're going to just be talking through sort of market update and what we have seen throughout Q1 of 2026 so far. Angela, do you want to go first?
Yeah, well, firstly, welcome to our first review of what we've seen so far for this quarter, which I'm pleased to say is all looking really positive. I think off the back of a busy end of last year, I think November, December into January, momentum I think seems to have continued, certainly for permanent hires. And fingers crossed, we see this continue on into Q2 and beyond.
Yeah, I would agree. I think we really started to see a difference in that permanent hiring probably in like November of last year, just after we did our last market update. But it really has continued, and I think the permanent market has sort of strengthened, and there seems to be more jobs out there and more opportunities for candidates, which is a very welcome change for a lot of job seekers. Temp side, Angela, what do you think of what you've seen for the temp side?
It's been a little bit up and down. I think with the company's still hiring for maternity, for sickness. I think it's when we've seen where we've seen the uplift in perm. Definitely, there has been a slight drop off on temp, but at the same time, it very quickly changes. And I've, seen a number of firms hire temps to come in immediately just because they are so busy, and then start the perm process. So it's still positive, I think, as a whole across the temp market as well.
Definitely. And I think it's just where companies have got that increased confidence in hiring. They are going straight for the permanent hire as opposed to getting an attempt first to test things out and see how it goes. But overall reasons for companies bringing in temps, it still seems to be holiday cover, sickness cover, especially through the colder January months and things like that, where everyone's been sort of wiped out with the flu and various things. Yeah, as you highlighted, maternity covers are big, and probably just projects as well, companies that need some extra support, and the best way to do that, and as you highlighted, bringing someone in quickly is to do it on a temp basis.
Yeah, I think I don't know whether this has contributed to what we've seen with the perm hiring, but sometimes bringing a temp in affords more time for the permanent process and finding the right candidate to come in. That said, what I've certainly seen the start of this year is processes have taken far longer than what
Yeah.
they usually would. So something that would normally take maybe 2 to 3 weeks on average have been maybe 4 to 5, which I guess it's not a bad thing, but it does mean that, potentially companies could lose talent. But I would say they really haven't been. I think this has been across the board. It's just seems to have really been very lengthy, very slow.
Yeah, I think that's where companies, where we've got clients that aren't getting busier, their attention needs to be moved into other areas rather than the recruitment. So unfortunately, it's almost as though the recruitment sort of falls down the pile in terms of priorities. And it's like, okay, well, let's get on with these other projects first. Let's do this, and then we'll pick the recruitment up again. So we've seen a bit of that, and possibly even some companies that are just, again, because things are changing so quickly, they're reassessing hiring needs and thinking, actually, is that the position we need to hire? Or do we combine it with this role, or do we hire this role instead? So there's lots of people just really looking at where their resources are, and how they can adjust hiring to allow for that.
Yeah. I mean, look, on a whole, a positive Q1, I think,
Definitely.
which is great to be saying.
Yeah, definitely. I guess other hot topics at the moment, the employment law reforms, which I know we've done a bit of work on. So the first changes that people are going to see come into place are in April. And I think a lot of companies have sort of already set up most things that they need to, but the biggest changes there are around statutory sick pay, and that being a right from the first day of sickness. Changes to the some of the parental leave allowances and things as well. And then finally, probably just like this is the first part of it, but just the way some of the sexual harassment laws are being strengthened just to better protect workers as well. But I think most of our clients, I think a lot of the information we've shared has been really welcomed by companies that are working on this. But Angela, would you agree? Like a lot of companies seem to have put things in place already, haven't they?
Yeah, I think because everyone was aware that it was coming up in April, and I know I've certainly seen a lot online in terms of whether it's been seminars or employment law workshops. So yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think there's an urgent rush for everybody right now because everything seems to be set up, which is good to hear.
yeah, definitely. AI is the other hot topic at the moment.
Yeah, I think everyone that I'm speaking to wants to know what everyone else is doing to make sure
Yeah,
that they're not missing out. So I can expect to see that continue across into Q2 for sure.
yeah. And I think a lot of it is around two areas: how companies can use AI to streamline processes, make things faster, automate some of the more, basic tasks that are taking up time, but also what an AI policy looks like within an organization, and something that's there to make sure that data protection laws are being adhered to, and there's no risk to the company from using AI. So I think the overarching theme is AI to complement your workforce and the work that everyone's doing, rather than AI to replace people.
Yeah, I certainly would agree with that. I think there was something that I saw actually, or I heard it was on the radio, somebody that had, I think, set up their whole job to be able to have been completed within an hour that they could have, well, should be taking them the day to do. Whether we'll see more of things like that, who knows?
Yeah, but so many people that I'm speaking to are saying it is still about the human touch. And yes, there are some processes that you can automate that will make things more efficient, but you still need that human element to be involved in roles as well, which is great to see on our side.
Yeah, definitely.
Other thing at the moment, I think we've got a lot of clients that are going through their still sort of doing performance reviews and reviewing comps and things like that. Would you agree, Angela?
Yeah, I think certainly speaking with a lot of job seekers or those that are testing the market, they consistently, I think everyone's getting salary increases. I'd probably say slightly, maybe under inflation for a few of them. But I think what I am certainly hearing, and when hiring, the emphasis is on total comp and what the package looks like with bonuses and things. So where their base salary may not have been inflated so much, they're being rewarded with potentially higher bonuses.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And even bonuses aside, what does that organisation's flexible working look like? Are they offering life insurance? Are they offering an enhanced pension? All of those things that people are now seeing like really do make up the total package, and what your employer is investing in you as well. So that's
Yeah,
been big too. But I think I would agree, like some of the salary increases that we've seen in the past, the increases we're seeing now are definitely not as great. There are increases happening, but they're just not as high. Like there's not a huge amount of movement on salaries, slight movement, but not a huge amount.
yeah. I think where I see more flexibility from job seekers with salaries is that that's still the ongoing want for better or more hybrid working. And again, don't think it's anything different to what we have talked about in our previous updates, where companies are pushing to be in the office a little bit more. And I think 4 days in still seems to probably be the norm, with a few more pushing back to 5. 3-2 is a lot more few and far further between.
Yeah.
And less than that, it's yeah, almost unheard of,
Seen
unfortunately.
as much. Yeah. And other than that, I guess industries that are hiring. Angela, what are you seeing on your side?
So finance as a whole, I think, has been very consistent.
Yeah.
Certainly tech, there's been a lot more coming through, AI focused tech as well. Charities, again, have
Yeah.
been very, very busy, and executive search, which again I think lends well then to
Yeah.
the business support recruitment.
Yeah. They're all positive signs. And I think, again, we know we're consistently busy with finance companies hiring, but it's really nice to see a real blend of other like industries that are coming through with requirements as well. So, you know, as you said, ranging from charities to executive search, which is again always a really positive sign that if executive search are hiring, it's with other people are hiring too. So yeah, there's been a lot of, you know, a promising start to the year for certain.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with with the upcoming changes, as we said, I don't think there's going to be any or much impact really with what we're seeing so far. So hopefully Q2 will be coming back with continued positivity.
Yeah, excellent. So thanks everyone for joining. Hopefully that's given you a little bit of insight into what we're seeing. But if you do have any other questions, please just contact myself or Angela, and we'll be happy to answer any other questions you've got.
Thank
Thanks.
you.